Hi guys, I was just editing my videos, my vlog, my quarantine vlog, and I realised I haven't really updated much during the past few days. Haven't really talked much on camera, so I decided I'll just take a few minutes now to just kind of talk about how things have been really. I've surprisingly been enjoying my quarantine a lot. I've got lots of things to keep me busy, like editing my videos, playing Animal Crossing. I've been watching Crash Landing and I finished that, and there's so many other things that I could be watching on Netflix, so I'm actually quite content, and I think I'm going to miss having all this free time to myself once I start working. Oh, and the other thing is I've been like looking at details about my school and my class and just making preparations for that, because I will be starting next Monday with my class. I'm super excited but also really nervous. It's always nerve-wracking meeting your class for the first time. Yeah, lots of things to think about regarding work. Kind of forgotten what it's like to be working just because of how long the break's been and how much has gone on since I last sat in front of my class and taught them. That was all the way back in mid-December, so it's gonna take me some time to get used to getting back into the routine of things, of working and teaching and everything that goes along with that. And I think Lunar New Year is coming up in Korea and it's a public holiday here, so I think I get like a few extra days off. Today I have been cleaning. Ever since I arrived I haven't really cleaned, so it was really nice just to clean the apartment myself. I know I was clean before I came, but I just was feeling quite uncomfortable in my own apartment and I couldn't figure out why. After cleaning today, I finally figured out why. It's because I hadn't cleaned the apartment myself, so the apartment kind of felt like still somebody else's place, you know? And I knew someone else had lived here before, so I think that feeling was just bearing on me, and I am finally at peace now because I cleaned the apartment myself, knowing that everything is clean and disinfected because I did it. I feel a lot more at home in this place now. But yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Good morning everybody. Today is day 12 of my self-quarantine. I actually posted on Instagram this morning and I posted it was day 11, but it is not day 11. Nina, my friend, she's like, hey, you said it was day 11 yesterday. I was like, oh, yeah. So maybe I truly am just going a little bit insane in quarantine. I mean, they're just nearing towards the end. It's just looking forward to it being the end of quarantine that I'm just slowly losing track of what day it is, because I'm only thinking about the end and what I'm going to do after I get out of quarantine, which is beginning to start my new job. So my brain's just been filled with those sort of thoughts. So it's all very exciting but a little bit anxious, you know, just with things being unknown and being new, but I'll get over it. This morning I woke up at like 7:30, even though I went to bed quite late last night. I woke up because I was having stress dreams about having to do the COVID test again, because from what my recruiter told me, I think I'm due to have a COVID test maybe within the last 3 days of my quarantine, and so I'm already on my 12, 13, 14, so there's only 3 more days left. So I may have to get a COVID test, if not today, probably tomorrow. And I'm just like crossing my fingers that they forget that I need to have another one. But they're quite onto things, so the chance of them actually forgetting I need one is quite low. And kind of like not knowing which day I'm going to get the test kind of makes me anxious, because I can't prepare myself. I might just find out the day before that tomorrow I'm going to do the test. I'll be like, okay. So I won't have that time to mentally prepare myself. But I mean, I knew it was coming. I just have to go with it. What else can I really do, right? Also today I'm going to start doing some planning and thinking about my new class and my new kids, and what kind of activities I'm going to do for the first week in terms of like getting to know them, them getting to know me. I love those sort of beginning of the year activities, so I'm excited to plan those and have a look at what I've got. The thing I'm a little bit worried about is not really knowing the curriculum and picking up from where someone else has left off. I have never had to do that before. When I've started my new school years, it's always been a fresh start, very beginning of the school year, first day it's me in the class. So that will be a little bit of a challenge, I think, but I'm sure there will be the right sort of supports in place, and become quite adaptable as a teacher. So fingers crossed things go well in that aspect. So yeah, I'm going to clean up after my breakfast and then do a little bit of tidy up. Today's such a good day. I'm so happy about it. Look, it's like super sunny, so that kind of lifts up my mood a little bit more, because it's quite gloomy for the past few days. But anyway, I guess I'll chat to you guys a little bit later. At night right now, and I've just been editing my week 1 quarantine vlog, and something that's going on they've had to put up with since I came to this apartment is noisy neighbours. They drive me up the wall. I think it's worse because I've always lived in my family home and it's like a single unit house. So there are no noises from neighbours or anything, because you're separated by like a driveway or, you know, a space between the houses. But living in an apartment, your neighbours are sharing a wall with you. And Korean apartment walls are notoriously thin, I found out. So you can hear everything that goes on. And now, because the apartments in my apartment building are small, usually one person lives in each apartment, and so generally it's not too bad. You can hear people moving around. If you have a neighbour that lives on their own, it's alright. Like this neighbour on this side of me, I've actually not seen them in person because obviously I'm in quarantine. I haven't bumped into them or anything, haven't had that chance, but I can hear him cough. So the guy that lives on this side, he's pretty quiet, but the neighbours from Absolute live that way, share that wall. And I just decided to record because I'm trying to edit my video. I put in my headphones because they have just come home, and it was like peace and quiet before. They've just come home and they're chatting so loudly and laughing, and especially when they're in the bedroom, because I assume all the apartments are set out the same way, but when they're in their bedroom and talking, I can hear every single word they say. They're just so loud. But get this, it gets later and they're still talking and they're like moving about and stuff, and even later in the night they're still talking, but this talking is turned into noises, and their moving about is a very particular moving about, making the bed knock against my wall. So that happens about every second night. So I can imagine when I start working and I have to sleep early and get up early, that is going to really annoy me. So I'm probably gonna have to get some like noise cancelling phones. I'm just like, can you just tone it down? Like, is that so hard to just maybe not do it right by my wall? I know that's a bedroom, but like, I don't know, move into your living room. That'll be so much better because I won't be able to hear you and you won't feel that embarrassment. And I am dreading the day that I bump into them in the elevator. Because obviously I don't know what they look like because I haven't been out. But then I kind of don't want to know what they look like because that would be just too much imagery. Just thought I'd come on and complain about my neighbours. I mean, probably first world problems. I mean, this is what comes with living in an apartment, I guess, with super thin walls. Oh, and the thing is, the guy snores. So after they've done their, you know, moving about and the exercise, he snores when he falls asleep. I mean, I wonder, because surely they can hear me, because every time they start being real noisy, I play music really loud next to the wall. To try and make a point that, hey, if you can hear my music, I can hear you. Oh yeah, and I found out that tomorrow I have to do another quarantine test, and I knew it was coming, but like part of me was crossing my fingers and hoping I wouldn't need another one. But apparently the New Zealand government needs me to do one just to make sure I don't have anything and don't have to investigate anything over New Zealand. But yeah, I have to get up for that test. That test is at 9:40, and what will happen is the people from the hospital will come and pick me up downstairs. So I actually get to leave my apartment. I have to wear like my mask and my gloves, but I can finally leave my apartment to get some actual fresh air outside. But then they take me straight to the hospital to get my test, and straight after the test they'll bring me straight back home. So I'm not going to be able to make my escape. Just kidding. But yeah, so not looking forward to that, but I'm hoping that second time round I'll be prepared and I know what's coming, so it won't be so shocking. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow about how that goes. Good morning everyone. So I just woke up about like 20 minutes ago. I've just gotten ready to go out and get picked up by the people from the hospital to take me to go get my COVID test, and that's my second one in Korea. First one was not so good of an experience, but hopefully this time I know what I'm expecting and I'll be okay. They required I have to wear the KF94 mask and I need to wear gloves. So yeah, I'll be going down for the first time in like almost 2 weeks, which is a little bit exciting. I haven't seen Gorgie in the area that I'm living during the daytime. I've only seen it kind of at night, but then even though, you know, the ambulance couldn't see anything anyway. So yeah, I will update you guys after my test. So I just came back from the COVID test that I did. So it's day 13 of my self-quarantine here in South Korea. I've got one more day to go after today, so the end is near. So the COVID test. So this is my second time. I'm just having breakfast of garibi dumplings. I was working myself up for doing this test because of how unexpected and low-key traumatizing the first test was. So that was what I was expecting again, and I was preparing myself for that. But that was not what happened, and the test was totally fine. So let me explain. So this morning at 9:40 I headed downstairs, and someone, I think from the city hall, picked me up and took me to the COVID testing clinic. It was about probably like 10 minutes away from where I live. It's funny because I went downstairs on time, and then someone from my work messaged me and told me that the person's here. So I said, okay, I'll go down. And then I got down there, and there was like one van that was just parked there, and the man wasn't making eye contact with me. So I just kind of stood there and waited because I was like, is it or is it not? I had no idea. I was just standing there waiting, but then keeping my eye on that van that was right there. And so eventually the man drove up, and he's like, hey, he said in Korean, I didn't fully understand what he said, but he said something along the lines, are you going to the COVID testing place? And I was like, yes, I am. And so I got in the van. Imagine if he wasn't, and I just got kidnapped because I just had no idea what was going on. So he took me, he drove me to the COVID testing clinic, and as we were pulling up, I saw there were lots of people lined up at the COVID testing clinic. I was like, are these people waiting for their friends or their relatives or their family to finish doing their test, or are they actually in line for the test? And I realised they were all in line for the test. So say the COVID testing clinic is here, people were lined up all the way around to the front in the car park. I was like, damn, it's kind of busy here. I was like, do I have to wait in that line? Because I really don't want to wait in that line. It'll take forever. But then at the same time, I was like, that would be nice though, because I can get more fresh air outside and make the most of this little time I get outside of my apartment during self-quarantine. But then we got there, and then the man who drove me there led me to the back all the way to the front of the line. I was like, oh, I'm skipping the queue because I'm a foreigner. And so he took me to the reception sort of place, and then they crossed my name off the list. There was like a list of other people who were self-quarantining. I just waited in line, and while I was waiting, there were like lots of people who were probably waiting there for ages, and if you're like a Korean person, you have to go and register at the booth. Eventually it was my turn. Now before this, I was watching other people go in and get their tests just to, you know, prepare myself. I'm so just anxiety central. I was watching people get their test, and I saw the man inside, he was completely blocked off by like a screen. It's like a counter with like 2 holes in the screen, and he stuck his arms through with gloves, and he had the swabs in his hands, and the person would stand on the other side of the glass of the shield and like get their test taken with this man with 2 hands and gloves sticking out from the holes. And so he took this swab. I was like, that swab looks familiar. It's the type of swab that I had in New Zealand. I was like, oh my god, is this test going to be different from the airport? Because remember at the airport, the test was like super like double length, because it went through your nose, bent down, then down your throat all at once. But this looked like a shorter swab, one that I was familiar with after doing the test twice in New Zealand. So I was like, am I not gonna get my throat abused from a swab going up my nose and down my throat? So I was starting to feel just a little bit excited that it wasn't what I expected, that I'd worked myself up for all this time. I saw him get a shorter swab, swab the person's throat, then swab up the person's nose. And so I was like, oh, this is easy, because I've done this twice before. Eventually got to my turn, and I went in and I told the lady that I'm like an overseas arrival. She told me to find my sticker on this list, and then she took the sticker and put it onto the testing tube thing. It was just like that. There was a short swab down my throat. He kind of poked the back of my throat a little bit. That kind of like hurt a tiny bit, but it was fine. I guess because he had to do so many, they were not going to be gentle. They were just kind of like, quick, all right, do it, okay, done. And then he did another swab that was up my nose and twisted it a bit. I have to say, it was a lot quicker than the one that I did in New Zealand. It was just in and out, done. After that, I left and went to find the man who's waiting for me in the van who came to pick me up, and he was going to take me back. And so, yeah, he took me all the way back, and he dropped me off at the wrong apartment. Okay, it's not as bad as it seems. I had like a little panic moment there. I was like, I don't know where I am and I don't have internet on my phone. What am I going to do? My apartment, it's got 2 buildings, but they have the same name, and one is 1 and one is 2. And he dropped me off at building number 1. And then I was like, building number 1? But I live at number 2. I looked at the sign and I knew what street my apartment was on, so I just looked at the sign. I was like, okay, maybe I'll just keep walking straight and I'll find it. And then eventually it was literally like 10 meters down, so I found it. Just a little panic moment there, just in case I got lost. But then I was like, you know, if I get lost, it'll be a nice opportunity for me to walk around. So yeah, I think I'm starting to realize after being outside that I really do want to be outside, and I'm very excited for my quarantine to be over. So today, tomorrow, and then I'll be out on, I believe, Saturday, which is 30th. So that'll be very exciting, and I'll get to go outside and show you guys what it's like outside, and I actually feel like I'm in Korea. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon. Good morning, everyone. So today is finally day 14 of my quarantine, the very last day. I thought I was going to be discharged tomorrow, so it's like a full 14 days, but apparently I can leave the house at 12 p.m. today, which is in less than 45 minutes now, so I'm so excited I can finally go outside. I'm just gonna be doing my makeup. I'm getting ready to go out. I want to go to the nearby Daiso, so they have a Daiso really close by that's like 6 minutes walk away, so I want to go there. And I saw on the map that right next to the Daiso there's a Olive Young, which is like a makeup and skincare shop, so I might want to go there too. Yeah, so it feels so weird that I can actually finally go outside. I feel like I'm breaking the rules by going outside, but like, I'm not, because my quarantine's gonna be over. I've just been so conditioned that I have to stay in my apartment. I don't know if you can hear, but that noise is, I think they're doing some sort of construction with the pipes. Like, another little intercom message came on this morning, and I recorded it this time, and I listened to it back, and it said, I heard keywords. I think it's something to do with they're fixing the pipe, so please be forgiving to the noise, or something like that. I mean, I think anyway. I could be totally wrong. I might check out like the convenience store so I can buy some food for dinner tonight. Oh, I don't have to cook tonight because I can just go out and buy it. And you know the sort of amazing stuff that they have at the convenience stores here in Korea, so I'll have a look at that. And my friend Shanice, shout out to you Shanice, told me that they have BTS ice cream, but they only had like 30,000 units of it being sold across Korea, I think, in all CU convenience stores. So that was a week ago. Not very hopeful that they're gonna have any left, but we'll all just have to see. Today it's really cold. I checked the temperature just then, it was -1 degrees Celsius, so that is really cold. Yesterday when I went out to get my test, it was like 7 degrees, and it did actually feel quite warm, so, with the sun and stuff. But the sun is out, so hopefully that helps it not feel like totally like it's -1 degrees. I'm just going to do my makeup now. God, I'm so devastated. I put my makeup palette onto my drink bottle so it could have enough height for me to do my makeup, and it like dropped, and I tried to catch it, and now like, can you see? My nail dug through that pan. Oh my god. So be your own self, but it's fine, gotta live with it. So I'm using a tissue box now. know, putting on lipstick, no one's gonna see it because I'm gonna have my mask on anyway, but you know, I gotta feel good underneath the mask, you know. But here is my my brows look so bold. I think I'm just not used to my new eyebrow product. It's a bit thick. So it's a Clio Kill Brow and it's in brown, so it shouldn't be that dark, but maybe I just have to apply it a bit lighter next time. Got some, maybe I'm just not used to having my brows, you know? Why do they look wonky on camera? I swear they don't look wonky in the mirror. Yeah. I still don't feel comfortable with them. So that is my makeup done. Just got it changed. It is 11:57 at the moment. Only 3 more minutes until I can actually officially leave. How exciting is that? I mean, I was really enjoying my time inside. Don't get me wrong. But just after going outside yesterday, just seeing what I was missing out on, that kind of made me really want to go outside as soon as possible. And I was totally prepared to be quarantined another full day today, but no, I get to go. Okay, 2 more minutes. Yay! So it is past 12 o'clock now, it's 12:13 and I'm allowed to go out now. My quarantine has officially finished. My bag is packed and I'm ready to go. Okay, am I ready? I'm ready.